The Pequot people were burned alive in the middle of their sleep at night in 1637. Mass Bay Colony, Plymouth Colony, Providence Plantation, Mystic Seaport, all English colonies banded together to burn women and children while they slept in a village at night. They barricaded the exit. They did not allow anyone to leave. They wanted them to burn. They were proud that they burned. This country was proud to write. We could smell their burning, rotting flesh for over a mile away. It's written, folks. Please read it on your own. I am not making this up. Stephen King can't make this up. He was so proud, the town of Norwich, Connecticut, had a statue honoring this man up until roughly a decade ago. John Mason, the man who murdered over 700 people. When anyone, the few people who were able to survive that Holocaust, they were rounded up. They were sold as slaves. Before they were sold, they were marched all the way from Connecticut to Mass Bay Colony, present-day Boston. They were placed on trial. They were declared to be sold as slaves. But before they sent them on that slave ship, they had to humiliate them some more. And they read a declaration that those people shall not ever, once again, even utter the word Pequot. They will no longer be able to call themselves a Pequot. I am proud to say, I'm a Mashantucket Pequot. This is the history, folks. Because that particular day, that particular incident, is when this country declared its second religious day of Thanksgiving.
Shalom, shalom, call halal, YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, BAHASHAM, HAKAKWADASH. Double honor to the elders and apostles, great millstone of teaching you well. Peace and salutations be to hopeful elect. And Brother Tazam Gabar coming at you from the prophets in Babylon camp here in Tampa, Florida. And I'm going to be doing a lesson based upon Thanksgiving, man. Alright, it's going to be quick and straight to the point. I just wanted to get in on that introduction video because it pretty much sums up, you know, everything I wanted to talk about, man. But I just wanted to add some scriptures to it. Alright. Because Jake don't know, but they ignorantly celebrate these pagan holidays, man. Don't even know the history behind it. You know what I'm saying? So I want to grab this one for starters. In the book of Matthew chapter 15, and I'll start with verse 8. It says, "This people draweth nigh unto me with their mouth, and honoreth me with their lips, but their heart is far from me." Alright? Scripture talks about being doers of the word, you know, not only, you know, not hearers only. Alright? So pretty much these people already know how the Lord, you know, gets down, and they speak highly of the Lord. You know, most people do. Not all people do. Some slander and despises the Lord and speaks down on the Lord, man. Okay? But a lot of people, you know, pretty much draw nigh to the Lord with their lips. Okay? And but their heart is far from Him. Okay? But these people, they don't even have the true, so for starters, they don't even have the true Lord, man. They're not even speaking to the correct Lord, the rightful Lord, YAHAWASHI, because of their ignorance, man. The ignorance that is in them. Okay? I'm going to grab that too, matter of fact. That's the ignorance that is in them. It says, yeah, Ephesians, that's Ephesians. But let me finish this up first. It says, "These people draw nigh unto me with their mouth and honors me with their lips, but their heart is far from me." What these people really want to do and how they want to act, you know, they want to, you know, be on their own, in their own free spirit. They don't want to actually come to the Lord and worship the Lord in true sincerity, man. They're gonna say it, yeah, but that's for their own glory, man. All right, that's to be seen of men. Okay. It says, "But in vain they do worship me, teaching for doctrines the commandments of men." Alright, in vain, because what? They're teaching the commandments of men, alright, and keeping the traditions of men. All right, to celebrate Thanksgiving, these people see it as a commandment. Okay, these people see it as a commandment, man. You know, you go into they automatically, wherever you go, they automatically assume that you're celebrating these days, man. Wherever you go. I was just out today. It's not even fucking Thanksgiving yet, and everybody's saying happy holidays, happy Thanksgiving, or have a good Thanksgiving. Da 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 da. You know, they don't ask you, do you celebrate things? They don't even ask you these things. They assume it because what? It's more like a commandment of men, a tradition that everyone keeps, man. Okay. Now they say, you know, they despise the Lord's commandments and make their own commandments. But do as thou wilt spirit is one of their commandments. Okay, so they're in the process of doing as they will. They don't, you know, consider the things that they do because they do what they want to do. Like Thanksgiving, they don't consider it because they do what they want to do, man. Even though it's all everywhere what they've done, what this day is all about. You can go look it up and find out what this day is about, man. Okay. I just got through reading up on a site about what happened going on in the history of Thanksgiving, man. And you can go and study these things every year when the day comes around. All right, you can bring these things out in your lessons, okay? But it's there, man. The whole point is that it's there for them to get it. They can go and look back and see, but YAHAWAH is so ignorant they don't want to. They don't care to, man. But you catch them 1 month before Thanksgiving talking about Christopher Columbus. Yeah, he was a Fortnite. He came over here and killed all the Indians, the Native Americans. Okay? They're all about Native Americans until 1 month later when Thanksgiving comes and they celebrating the day that was made for the slaughter of the Native Americans, man. Ye hypocrites. If I grab before, verse 7, it says, Ye hypocrites, well did Isaiah prophesy of you, saying, These people draw nigh unto me with their mouth and honor me with their lips, but their heart is far from me. Okay, because why? These people are hypocritical, man. Alright? They say one thing and do the other. They say they say this about the Lord and do the complete opposite of what they said. Well, I love the Lord. But they go and do the opposite and doing works that shows that they hate the Lord, man, and his ways. If you love the Lord, you'll be keeping his ways and listening to how he told you to live. But you don't even care. The Lord say, scriptures say, my people does not consider, man. That's what the Lord said. My people does not consider. Okay? The ox and the ass, two dumb animals, know at their master's crib and their owner. Okay, but my people does not know, they does not consider. They don't even stop to think about where they come from, man. You tell them this and they say, all come from Africa. You show them a picture of this and they say, oh yeah, that's what that is. Just because you see something plastered everywhere on the walls, it's a common thing. That's what Israel does. They see a common thing and they go right after it, man. They don't question it. They just say, oh yeah, that's the Lord. You know what I'm saying? That's why the scripture says, follow not after a multitude to do evil. Because most people in the world are actually committing evil ignorantly and they don't realize it. Okay? That's why it says, what? Ye hypocrites. Okay? It says, let me go ahead and grab Ephesians. Look at Ephesians chapter 4. Let me start with verse. Verse 18, it says, having the understanding darkened, being alienated from the life of YAHAWASHI through the ignorance that is in them, because of the blindness of their heart. So they're blind, man. They can't see. They don't see these things. They don't see how Esau could be our enemy. They don't see it. When he teaches you history of how he was your enemy, man. Okay? That's in your history classes. They talk about this in school. You learn it when you're just a jit. Yeah, you grow up and somehow you forget who your enemy is, man. Okay? They give you all this bullshit, talk about how they enslaved you. They don't tell you that part of it. They just tell you, yeah, you were slaves. You were pretty much slaves. So, yeah. And then they tell you, the whole history lesson is more so about how you became free rather than how you became slaves, man. Alright? They tell you your own people sold you into slavery. Okay, those Hamites over there ain't our people. There's many videos showing that these Hamites actually hate us, man. They hate us. They hate to be considered the same as us, the same people as us, man. They don't like that shit because they know we're not the same people, man. Okay? Just like Issachar and Ephraim, they get mad when you call them one or the other, man. You can't discern between which is which. And you call Issacharite or Ephraimite, they're ready to square up with you, man. It's likewise with the darker nations of Ham and Canaan and stuff, man. All right, just because we kind of look similar, don't mean we're the same people. Not only that, you can distinguish people apart, man. But you can tell about how the Lord created everybody a certain way, man. He created all nations a certain way. They all got something about them that allows you to distinguish them apart. The Hamites, they got their skin, for example, it's like a darker, it's a dark tint. It's like a muddy brown, and it's always going to be like a muddy brown, man. Whereas Jake is like their skin tone is a bit lighter, all right, and it's more softer. You can tell it looks more softer, but the skin tone of a Hamite looks harsh. It looks like almost like you scraped a brick across the road, like a dark brick. You just scraped a dark brick across the road. That's how their skin tone looks, man. Like it's a rough skin tone. All right, with Elamites, you got Elamites. They're kind of like fair-skinned just a little bit, but they're more so on the dark side, and they have like a dark, like a purple tint to their skin color, man. You can see it around their eyes, all right, around their mouths, all right, in the corners of their hands and their fingers, between their fingers and stuff like that. You can see their tints of their skin. Yasharallah is not so. Edomites, they got, what we already know, they got red skin. Okay, but you can tell the difference between these people. Now, but back to the topic, it says, having the understanding darkened, being alienated from the life of YAHAWASHI through the ignorance that is in them. Because of their ignorance, they're alienated. They're made like aliens, okay, to this truth, man, to YAHAWASHI. All right, that's why YAHAWASHI will be like, depart from me, I have not known you. Okay, you have people saying that they were prophesying in the Lord's name when they were saying the wrong name the whole time. The whole time they preaching JC, okay. The whole time they're setting up. These churches, man, you can't be in these churches seeing what they do, and just believing it for face value, man. These people are liars. It's all for money. It's all for money's sake. These people are actors, and the people inside the church be actors, okay? Talking about they casting out demons and shit. When they know they had a conversation, full-blown conversation the night before on the phone about how you gonna act crazy and I'm gonna cast a demon out you. I'm going to pretend to cast a demon out you. We're going to get the audience going. Little do they know that dude's one of the shadow people, man. The people that be behind closed doors, planning up the whole church session, man. They don't preach the word of YAHAWASHI. All they do is get up there and talk about their past and how they changed. All right, now they making money. They don't want to tell you, now I'm making money. It's the same thing as any other nigga in the world. Listen to the rap songs. I used to be broke, but now I'm cashed out. Okay, that's the same thing with these pastors in the churches, man. That's all they want to talk about. I used to be down in the dumps, but now I'm preaching the word of God. And you know what that means? That means he's just robbing your ass and telling you lies to your face, and you okay with it. All it means is he used to be broke, and now he's got money, man. Okay, it says through the ignorance that is in them because of the blindness of their heart. So Jake don't even think to consider these things, man. Who being past feeling have given themselves over unto lasciviousness to work all uncleanness with greediness. Look at that, man. You were just talking about how them damn pastors in the church being greedy, man. Okay? But Israel's so damn ignorant, they don't want to stop and think about what they're following after, what they're celebrating. They just want to celebrate it. They want to get it over with. Oh, the fam gonna be there. It's gathering time. It's family gathering time. Now that, tradition has it to where it's some type of family gathering shit, man. This day was literally made because the damn Edomites were slaughtering Native Americans and selling them, man, into slavery. And they were feasting over it, man. And they used to do it every year. Alright? Multiple times a year. Thanksgiving it didn't used to just be one day. It used to be more than multiple times throughout the year. Every time there were slave Native Americans, they'd have Thanksgiving, something called Thanksgiving. Until Abraham Lincoln became president, and he made it a law that you could only celebrate it once a year. Okay, that's when he that was when he made a law that you can only celebrate Thanksgiving once a year, one day out of the year, and that's going to be in November. That's when they made that day. That's how Thanksgiving came about. And then they kept killing the damn Israelites. Knowing these people are Israelites, they call them Native Americans, Indians. This is what they call them. These are all bywords that they call Gad and Reuben, man. And some are Ephraim, man. A lot of them are Ephraim as well. A lot of them are Issacharites. A lot of them are Manassites. This is the northern kingdom, man. They were putting into chains and slavery and bondage. And they just labeled them as Native Americans and forgot about them. Okay? It's all about Esau these days, man. I got this. Probably gonna close out with this one. It's the book of Matthew chapter 15 and verse start with verse 3. Well, we're just gonna grab verse 3. It says, "But he answered and said unto them, Why do ye also transgress the commandment of YAHAWASHI by your tradition?" Alright, they've been coming up with traditions. Okay, Yasharallah, whatever tradition there is that is against YAHAWASHI, they on it, man. All of a sudden, it's something that they want. Yasharallah's been, in and out serving false idols, man. There's been times where in the captivity, some of the captors would allow us to worship our power, and Jake was still doing idolatry, man. Let me grab this. It says, that was. But this is another one that says, Mark 7 and 8, "For laying aside the commandment of YAHAWASHI, ye hold the tradition of men, as the washing of pots and cups, and many other such like things you do." Alright. So they laid aside the commandment of YAHAWASHI and kept their own tradition. It says, "And he said unto them, Full well you reject the commandment of YAHAWASHI, that ye may keep your own tradition." So they already know full well what they doing, man. They reject what YAHAWASHI told them to do, so they can keep their own tradition, man. The traditions of men. Okay? This is their tradition. Alright, you follow after. And when it's talking about men, this goes way back to the titles that was given upon the people of the world, man, the people of earth. Alright, you have the children of light, which is the children of God, Salakia. Children of God, you have the children of wickedness, and you have the children of men. Okay, the children of God was the Israelites, obviously. Children of wickedness was the Edomites. And then you have the children of men, okay, which is the heathens. So the heathens have their own traditions, alright? And they make unto themselves their own gods because they don't have our power. YAHAWASHI is not their God, man. So they make unto themselves their own gods, and they make their own traditions. And Yasharallah start following after their traditions. So the Lord say, He gave us our own land so that we won't go after these things. But when we did get our own land, we were still chasing after idols, man. The Lord kept whooping Jake's ass. Jake is stiff-necked and hard-headed. Alright? So, I'm going to bring this thing out. This article that I brought up earlier. I'm just going to bring out a few things from it and close out. says that the page is called "The Land Is Ours." It's titled 1637 Pequot Massacre, the real story of the annual U.S. Thanksgiving. I'm not going to read this whole thing. It says, I'm just going to grab one of the important parts out of it, the key parts out of it. It says, if you drop down to about the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6th paragraph, it goes, following an especially successful raid against the Pequot and what is now Stamford, Connecticut, the churches announced the second day of Thanksgiving to celebrate victory over the heathen savages. They're talking about Israelites. During the feasting, they hacked off heads of natives. It says the hacked off heads of natives were kicked through the streets like soccer balls. Even the friendly Wampanoag did not escape the madness. Their chief was beheaded and his head impaled on a pole in Plymouth, Massachusetts, where it remained on display for 24 years. The killings became more and more frenzied, with days of Thanksgiving feasts being held after each successful massacre. Okay, it goes on. George Washington, Salaki, not Abraham. I think it was George. No, it was Abraham. It says George Washington finally suggested that only one day of Thanksgiving per year be set aside instead of celebrating each and every massacre. Later, Abraham Lincoln decreed Thanksgiving Day to be a legal national holiday during the Civil War. On the same day, he ordered troops to march against the starving Sioux in Minnesota. It says this story doesn't have quite the same fuzzy feelings associated with it as the one where the Indians and the Pilgrims are all sitting down together at the big feast. Okay, this is what people believe, that it was a friendly day and lovey-dovey day. This is what people believe about all the holidays, man. All right, they think it's all about spending time with the family. It's not like that, man. These shits have meanings behind them. Very wicked and evil roots, man. And you celebrating this shit in ignorance, the Lord sighs upon you, man. He looks down on you with anger, okay, because you celebrate this shit in ignorance. Okay, now you can't go to the Lord and say, oh, I know. The information is everywhere to be found, and I'm sure you've heard it before. Everywhere to be found, man. Alright. That's pretty much it on that, man. I'm gonna grab one more scripture, I'm gonna close out with that. I'm gonna use this wallpaper, by the way. I'm gonna use it as a wallpaper because that's pretty good. Pretty good. Yeah, I've never seen that one. It's the attack on Pequot Fort. Pequot. That's a tough word. I'm just saying Pequot Fort. Pequot Fort. Yeah, let me grab this one scripture. I'm gonna close out with that, man. Hosea chapter 4 and verse 6. My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. Because thou hast rejected knowledge, I will also reject thee, that thou shalt be no priest to me. Seeing thou hast forgotten the law of thy power, I will also forget thy children. So our people are destroyed for lack of knowledge, man. As the saying goes, knowledge is power, man. Once you know how to counteract it, you know how to prevent it. Alright? For example, if you knew how to get rabies, you would start avoiding dogs, wild dogs, and stray animals. You wouldn't pet them, you wouldn't touch them. But if you didn't know, you probably go and pet and touch a wild animal and think that it's okay when this motherfucker's foaming out the mouth, and then he bites you because you're ignorant. He bites you out of your ignorance and you die because you get rabies, man. All right? But since you know how, if you know how to attract rabies, you know how it's contracted, then you avoid all the ways that causes you to contract rabies, man. It is the same thing. Things of the world. Once you know, you're gonna know better. You're gonna do different, man. But Jake doesn't even consider it. They don't stop to think why. And even if it's presented to them what's behind it, the roots behind it, they don't give a fuck. They keep going. They continue on and still celebrate these days. They continue on and still do what they want to do. They brush it off like it was nothing. And they call us conspiracy theorists. They think because they label us conspiracy theorists, like it's okay to still do what the hell they want to do because we have a label for us. Oh, we know what you are. You're a conspiracy theorist. You know? Oh yeah, you just do these things. You just try to ruin everybody's day. That's what people see conspiracy theorists as, man. Party people. Alright? Because they in that duelist thou wilt spirit, they think of us as party people. So if we didn't have the label conspiracy theorists on us, then what? They probably would have started, a lot of them would have probably started believing what we're saying, and going and researching these things and start considering. But since Esau, crafty ass, put a word, I posted a video not too long ago on that too. Well, it was a while ago. I'm probably gonna repost it. But it was going into why they created the term conspiracy theorist. It was to keep the people from believing us and what we're saying, man. It's literally a word placed on us to keep the people from believing what we're saying. But that's it on that, man. I truly hope y'all are edified by this lesson. Until next time, after all, I say, HALAL, YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, BAHASHAM, Shalom.